Good morning, everyone. It's Robert from On My Turntable. Hope you're having a great morning this morning. It's Saturday morning, coffee kind of morning. A little bit of snow out there in Belleville, Ontario, Canada. I feel satisfied. Give me a smoke. Just kidding. I don't smoke. I was able to get out and dig yesterday. Wow, that not getting too detailed, but man, it's what a relief. So I'm going to show you some albums that I picked up. Hopefully it won't take too long because there's a pile of them. First, I wanted to, and I showed this yesterday, but I have to show it again because I'm so grateful that I got this album. The great Ron Haggerty from Ron Haggerty's Vinyl Sanctuary. I won one of his contests. He's a great guy. If you don't know Ron's channel, definitely go to him and subscribe. But this is what I received yesterday. Black Flags in My Head. Great punk album. It's remarkable. It was their sixth and final album, unfortunately. Released in 1985. It's edgy, it's uncontrolled, but at the same time, you put them all together and it's an amazing album. You almost need a bit of a break, like you almost need a day not to listen to any music and clear your head to listen to this music, because you can't go from the Hollies to go whatever. You can't go. You just got to listen to these guys on their own, if you know what I mean. Now, I'm not putting it down at all. It's just so good, but you need a clear head to listen to it. I'm finding, and the more I listen to it, the more I get into it, because it's not necessarily my genre of music, but it's gonna continue to be my genre of music. So I just had to show you that one again. It's amazing. So I did some digging, and was able to find a bunch of stuff. So in the summertime, I bought a huge collection off of my friend from Ottawa, and this album was in it. This one here, Garden and Van Winkle, and I kind of bypassed it. I didn't know what it was, and it just sat in the box and everything else. And then I reviewed it again and listened to it, and holy crap, it's a great album. Folk rock. Come to find out, they were affiliated with Bob Seger and everything else. And the more I researched and the more I got into these guys. So I really, really enjoy this album. So yesterday, I found another one. Garden and Van Winkle. This is a heavy case. I thought it was a double album at first. It's just the cover is just heavy. It's a gatefold. It's on the Westbound label. It's a beautiful label. But definitely a hidden gem. Hidden gem of a band, hidden gem of an album. They're American rock duo, with Skip Van Winkle and David Teagarden. Blend of folky rock and progressive rock. Skip Van Winkle, organ, pedal, bass, and vocals. David Teagarden, drums and vocals. Band out of Tulsa. They had a big hit, God Lovin' Rock and Roll. Hit number 22 in the U.S. and number 7 in Canada. Everything's Going to Be Alright. It's another big single. It was covered by the Temptations. They worked with the Bob Seger Band, doing a lot of live concerts with them. And then later, David Teagarden became the drummer for the Silver Bullet Band, which was kind of cool. So while Teagarden was with Bob Seger, Skip Van Winkle created his own band. Also worked with the Robbie Krieger Band at the time. Robbie Krieger from The Doors. Unfortunately, Skip Van Winkle died in 2018 at 74. But what an hidden gem of a band. And I'm so happy that I found this album yesterday. Garden and Van Winkle. Go to YouTube and check out God Lovin' Rock and Roll. Great tune. I didn't find these yesterday. They were part of an album box of albums that were given to me. Again, one of these hidden gem type of things that you look through and, okay, who's this guy? But I found Michael Cassidy. This is Nature's Secret. And Nature's Secret is a 1979 released, kind of a psychedelic folk rock album. Great vocals, a lot of banjo, cello, flute, clarinet throughout. Some great lead guitar work. It's a nice departure of an album, just a nice, easy listening psychedelic folk rock. So again, you can't listen to something like this and then go to a Black Flag album and listen to it. It just doesn't match. But happy to have it. It's on a cool label as well. This is Golden Lotus label. Look at that label. It's beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful label. I've got to get some inner sleeves too. I've got to get some MoFi inner sleeves. I've run out of inner sleeves. This was also in that box as well. Who is this dude? This is Paul Jones, Crucifix. Crucifix and a Horseshoe. Well, who is Paul Jones? Well, Paul Jones was the lead singer of Manfred Mann from about 1962 to 1966. He's also an actor, a radio and TV personality as well in Britain. So 1977's Crucifix on a Sticks. It's a combination of rock and blues rock. It's great, great stuff. I would say a little laid back from what Manfred Mann did, but still it's got some rock and stuff on it. Great piano, keyboards, drums, some great guitar lead work in it as well. Some of the songs sound like early Bowie, and there's also some countrified tracks on there as well. So great album. Again, one of them I almost bypassed, but I'm glad I got back and give it another listen. Next we have one of my favorite bands, and I didn't bring out their discography. I've got a fair amount of Blue Oyster Cult, but I found this one yesterday, Mirrors, and I should have, because I brought out every other bands out there, but for time I'm not going to do that. This is a great album, great album. Happy to find it. It's on the Columbia label. Mint condition, pretty much. A little bit of ring wear on the cover, but the album itself is great. So 1979's Mirror, the sixth studio album by the band. Great songs like In the and The Vigil and Mirrors, Lonely Teardrops, You're Not the One I Was Looking For. I mean, so many great songs on this album. Eric Bloom, guitar and vocals. Donald Buck Dharma Donald Buck Dharma Roser on lead guitar and vocals. Amazing guitarist. Alan Lanier on keyboards and guitar. Joe Bouchard on bass and vocals, and Albert Bouchard on drums and vocals. These guys are remarkable. I've got their latest album, The Symbol Remains, and I just absolutely love it. Every one of them that writes, you can tell it's their song because they have a unique style of writing. One's more mythical, one's more love song type of thing, but with a rockin' edge to it. Another was just straight ahead rock and roll. It's so cool how they put all these things together. But they're great American rock band. So happy to have that. Also, this band that I was familiar with their hits, but never really listened to their deep tracks. Whew. This is the Hollies. This is Romany. What a beautiful album this is. Wow. This is on Epic. Yeah. They've been around since 1962. And they've had so many hits. 1972's Romany, the 12th album by the band. Alan Clark wasn't on this one, but Michael Ridfer, I can't remember how to pronounce his last name, and it's not on here probably. He does an amazing job on vocals. This is a gatefold as well. There's the inner sleeve. Is it on here? No, it's not on here anywhere. Yeah, Rick first. He is from Sweden, but love the sound of this album. I was listening to it all day yesterday, and it's just remarkable stuff. And also this one here. This is Clark Hicks, Sylvester, Calvert, and Elliott. Another great Hollies album. 1977 release. It's on the Epic label again, Orange Epic label. They do a great version of Sandy by Bruce Springsteen on this one. And the 48, what is it called again? Gosh, I can't read my writing. 48 hour parole. Heavy track. Like, the Hollies can go from this amazing harmony type of band to Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress, 48 hour parole, and heavy stuff. Like, they're a rockin' band, and you don't think of them as a rockin' band, but they were heavy stuff. Along with this next band, I've got a few of their albums I'm going to show you here in just a second, but I found this one. Grab It for a Second by The Golden Earring. Great Dutch band. I've got Switch, 1975 Switch. I've got 1976 Mad Love, which is the U.S. version of Contraband, which is the UK version of the album. A couple of different tracks on it. And I've also got 1982's Cut. So from 1978, Grab It for a Second. What a rockin' album this is. Just straight ahead rock and roll. Great tracks on it. Roxanne and Tempting. Just dual guitar work on Leather. Love Against the Grain, another great power ballad on this one. These guys have it all. Dual guitars, great ballads, great harmonies, great vocals, awesome playing. Love Golden Earring. Slowly getting into them. I need to get more of their stuff. Got my notes on backwards here. Another one that I was so happy to find. b.l.t. from Jack Bruce, Bill Lorden, and Robin Trower. This is a killer album. It's on Chrysalis label. Yeah. You got Jack Bruce on bass and vocals, Bill Lorden on drums, and Robin Trower on guitar. What a combo. Of course, Jack Bruce from Cream. Lorden, Bill Lorden from Sly and the Family Stone, drummer. Also the Robin Trower Band, his drummer as well. Robin Trower, of course, from Procol Harum. Whew. It's it's a heavy album. It really is. Robin Trower plays a lot of Hendrix style guitar. I guess if you compare it to anyone. Into Money's so good. Robin Trower is such a great player. Love What It Is. Great bluesy number. Won't Let You Down. Slower track, a ballad. Beautiful stuff. Jack Bruce has an amazing vocals. No Island Host. Very Hendrix-like for sure. Amazing opening lead. It's a heavy, heavy track. It's Too Late, another heavy ballad. Love the guitar work in that one. Life on Earth, a great rockin' tune for sure. Once the Bird Has Flown, smooth bluesy track, builds over time. And Jack Bruce, again, his vocals just sound so good. Carmen, another great track. Love the opening solo by Robin Trower. It's dramatic, and Jack Bruce sounds so great. It's almost like a hypnotic type of sound, type of song. Feel the Heat, great rockin' tune. And Endgame ends with a slow bluesy number. Sounds a lot like Cream on this one. It really does, but it's so good, so good. So I'm happy to find this one, b.l.t. The minute I saw Robin Trower on there, I had to pick it up, but then I realized it was Jack Bruce on there. And I wasn't familiar with Bill Lorden, but he does an amazing job on this one. So happy to have this one. And if you notice, there's raw bacon on this sandwich as well. I don't know if that has any meaning to the song or not. Another one I picked up, a great fun band to listen to. This is the Kinks. Give the people what they want. Another great British band. I've got a few of their albums already. These guys, again, were formed in early 60s, 1964, by the Davies brothers, Ray and Dave. This amazing album. This is the Kinks are the Village Green Preservation Society. I've already had this one. This is an amazing, amazing album. If you don't own it, get it for sure. I have 1975 Schoolboys in Disgrace, one of their last concept albums about how children were basically victimized and taken advantage of in school. It's really the teacher looks down on this one boy that's kind of an outcast, and there's the evil teacher there for sure. It's a great album. And I had Sleepwalker, 1977 Sleepwalker, another great fine album. So give the people what they want. The 19th studio album by the band. It's just a straight ahead rock and roll album. Better Things, Destroyer. A couple of great tracks on this one. You've got Around the Dial, Give the People What They Want, the title track. Killer's Eyes, Predictable, Added Up. Then you have Destroyer, Yo-Yo, Back to Front, Art Lover, a little bit of Abuse, and Better Things. Produced by Ray Davies as well. They're flying with all cylinders on this one for sure. There's not a moment to breathe on this album. It's just so good. So good. The Kinks are an underrated band. Speaking of underrated, I had to pick this one up to fill my Canadian content needs. I found First Glance, this beautiful album by April Wine. A band that should have been bigger, or should be bigger than they are. And never really hit it too big in the States. They've had some success in the States, but not as big as they could have been. But I'm happy to find it. There's the inner sleeve, a bit of a rip on there, but no biggie. The album itself sounds great. I've got a couple of their previous releases as well. So these guys were formed in Halifax, Nova Scotia. They're now out of Montreal. They've been around since 1969. I didn't realize that. They're more of a 70s or 80s type of band for sure. But they've had a ton of huge hits. I Like to Rock, Just Between You and Me, Sign of the Gypsy Queen, Couldn't Have Been a Lady, just hit after hit after hit. But I have 1979's Harder, Faster, Great, great album. And then one of my favorites, Nature of the Beast, probably the most commercially successful album. And 1982's Power Play. Well, this one is no slouch. This is their 7th album. First Glance. It's a 1978 release. Big hit off it is Roller. It was a big hit in Flint, Michigan, actually, after listeners requested it as being a top requested song. And after that success, bands like Rush and Styx and Journey wanted April Wine to tour with them. So they made their success that way. It also has another great hit on it, Rock and Roll's A Vicious Game. Another great, I wouldn't call it a ballad, but it's close to being a ballad song. Just about the life of a rock and roller, basically. But yeah, happy to have April Wine in my collection. And 2 more to go. As I said, it was a big day yesterday, and I needed to smoke afterwards, even though I don't smoke. So happy to find this one. I went to one of my favorite stores, but they didn't really have anything. They were closed because of a shutdown recently, and they haven't had really anything to fill. They had a lot of singles, which I'm not really into singles, because I just find they charge just as much for a single as they do for an album. So, but I did find this one here. I was familiar with these guys, but never really heard them before, but I'm glad I got them. This is The Church. This is the album Starfish. They're big. It's on the Arista label. Starfish is their big commercial success album. These guys are been around since 1980. From Australia. Alternative rock band. This Starfish album is so good. Under the Milky Way is the big single off of it, and the rest of the album, it just sounds so great. It's really a good find, and I'm glad I found it. I've talked a bit more about it, but we're running a little late. I got one more to show you here. Another band that I don't have enough of their discography, but I want to get more. This is Modern English. This is Stop Start. I call it Start Stop because starts on the front but stops on the back, so I don't know what that's all about, but it's actually called Stop Start. Came with a nice inner sleeve, and it's on the Vertigo label. You don't see that too often. So great new wave post-punk band out of Essex, England. Huge #1 hit is I Melt With You. The guys were formed in 1979. Stop Start is a 1986 release. Great sounding album. The critics didn't really like it all that much, but I don't normally go by what the critics say on its own, because I don't know the rest of the discography. I like it. It's a great sounding album, great produced album, and from start to finish, I'm really enjoying it. So there you have it, guys. There's some finally got some digs in. I got my listening to do over the weekend of these great albums, and happy to find them. Thank you again, Ron Haggerty from Ron Haggerty's Vinyl Sanctuary, for giving me that contest win. I was worried that I hadn't received it yet, and just about the time I was going to message Ron, I received it yesterday. So thank you, Ron. You're amazing. Thank you to everyone. Love you, all you guys, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye now.